Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. With a hope and prayer for your well-being, we are starting the program of today. Dear viewers, I'm much humble and obliged. I really appreciate and respect all the greetings, all the gratitude you people are showing me on daily basis, and I hope and pray that this platform should continue spreading positive vibes all around the world with your contribution and help. This platform is meant for you, and this is that much important that I must repeat it. This platform is all yours. You come on this platform, you talk to us live, you spread your wisdom, you share your wisdom with people around you. Today we are having a topic which says that God is never in a hurry, but He is always on time. You'll agree with me that today being in hurry in order to catch all the daily routine matters shows your intention, good intention towards punctuality, which is good intent. But being always on time is actually completely different thing from being worried about and being hurried to the daily tasks. Many of us tends to assume that they remain deprived of material, their luck, or their relationships mismatched in their whole progress towards life, and which make them live the victim life all the life. Today we are having a guest with us who is mentor, who is a friend, who is just like an elder brother to me, who believes that God is never in hurry, but He is always on time. And he believes that God has been much kind to him, and he believes that God always remained there on time for ABRAR Hussain Syed Sahab. ABRAR Sahab is a mentor to me. ABRAR Hussain Syed is ex-military officer, flying instructor, a United Nations International peacekeeper, and he's a philanthropist. He's doing different things. He's carrying different hats on his head. And before I I explain more of his introduction, I would request Abrar Sahab to share his wisdom and his introduction himself. Let us go to Abrar and see that what he has today for us. Assalamu alaikum, Abrar Sahab.
Walaikum assalam, Shahzad. Before I say anything about myself, I would like to join the club who are there to appreciate the effort that you are making. You are providing us a platform where all people can join with positive vibes and they can inspire each other. Actually, in today's world, there is such a big lack of positivity and there is so much of negativity around us that people like you are like peaceful islands in the turbulent waters. So I must thank you, and I would like to say a few words about you because I've seen you as a baby, I've seen you as a young man, and now I see you as a magnet around whom so many people are gathering. I would like to tell people that when I first saw you, only thing that I remember was your bright eyes. And today, your bright eyes have become even brighter. It is because you have not wasted those years, and the the selfish world has not spoiled you. Rather, it has you have picked up positive things, and now instead of waiting for a long time, you are giving it back to the world. That is the best thing that we can do. So that's a few word about you. Talking about myself is always not easy to talk about myself because there is not much to say. I'm a very humble person, and I strongly believe that when you see somebody who is capable and who is got good faith in Allah and everything, and you still find that he is not very successful in life, and you sometimes wonder why this man is not so successful. I would suggest that you go close to him, spend some time with him, and you will realize that God has given him already much more than what he deserves. Because God only has two options. He can give you what you deserve or he gives you better. ये उसकी शान के खिलाफ है कि वो आपको उससे कम दे जो आप डिजर्व करते हैं। हम में से ज़्यादातर लोगों को अल्लाह ताला ने ज़िंदगी में वो दिया है जिसके हम हकदार नहीं थे। हमें उससे ज़्यादा अल्लाह ने दे रखा है और मैं उसकी and I am a shining example of that. When I look at myself, my capabilities and my effort, I always feel that God has been extra kind to me. The topic that you picked up for today is very inspiring, very inspiring. And God is always on time because his time frame and his schedule are chalked out well before time in immemorial. And we don't have a clue. Sometimes when we think when I wanted this, why God didn't give it to me? But you don't understand His timing. In my life, God has always been in time. He was never in hurry, but He was always in time. So that's a brief introduction of my feelings about the thing. I am ABRAR Hussain Syed. I've been in uniform for about 30 years. I put on different uniforms. I was in Pakistan Air Force, in the GDP branch, and although I did not pass out as an officer from Pakistan Air Force Academy, and I switched from PS College Sargodha to Pakistan Military Academy, where I was trained for 2 years. And after completing 5 years of total military training, I became an army officer. In the army, I changed hat. I was in the logistics side. Then I became a pilot. Then I became a flying instructor. Then I had an opportunity to fly helicopters on the highest battlefield in the world, Siachen area. And this battlefield happens to be the coldest battlefield also in the world. I flew in those areas and I had a helicopter crash. From 15,000 feet, my helicopter came down on rocks and I fractured 11 bones. But coming out of that crash with fracture was immaterial because coming out of such a crash was a miracle. Again, God was in time. He was not in hurry, but He saved my life not only once, so many times. Then, after serving for 26 years in army and 5 years of training, United Nations picked me up and I joined United Nations. And I've been all around the world working with peacekeeping environment. I've been in the Central Africa. I've been in the Far East. I touched the shores of Australia. Then I went to Central America, Latin America, in the Bahamas and Caribbean. Then I came back to Mali, a very troublesome country. And now I am in Western Sahara and Morocco. That's a brief background that I can talk about myself. On my other side, I all like Shahzad. I was also eager to give back to the world and my country because this world, this country had given me so much. So about 20 years back, I established a small school in a semi-urban area in Rawalpindi. Name of the school is Talent Groom Academy, and you need either money and time to start a project like this. In those, I didn't have money and I didn't have time, but I started it. And now it is 20 years. The school is working. It's not a beacon house. It is not a city school. It is not a grammar school. But I can proudly say that over 20 years, hundreds of children have got basic education from my school who, in the absence of my school, would have never gone to any school. For last 4 years, my school every year is converted into a eye hospital for 4 days. And we, with the help of another foundation, we do the operations and provide lenses to the people who cannot afford it free of cost. When this pandemic hit the country and there was lockdown and unemployment, poor people, daily wages people who already were suffering, that their suffering had increased. So our platform of my school, Talent Groom Academy, was used to reach out to those people, and some of my friends helped me, donated money, and we provided basic food items to 350 families so far. And we provided cash also to all those families so that their daily routine could go on. So this is a small, brief introduction of a person humble as me, who is nothing but reflection of God's blessing. Now you can ask me anything, and I will try.
Okay, Abrar Sahab, thank you very much for making me putting my listening ears mode on, and you have given us a descriptive introduction of yourself. As expected, many of the people before even starting of the program have already joined us, and before I go further and proceed further into the program, I must take them on board for a second, for a moment, to let them be confident that I can hear them and we can listen them. There is a person named Mariam Abrar, probably a family member, and there is a person named Qasim, and another one Azmat, and another one Asif Yani Sahab. I would request all of you to mute your mics. I would request all of you to mute your mics.
मैं चुप कर दूंगी
Okay, uh, this was just to make you sure that you people are audible and visible to us. We are going to take you on board for a moment later on. You stay connected with us. We are going to proceed further into the program, and the whole world is watching you. Abrar Sahib is with us, and we are expecting a lot more of the wisdom coming our way. Before we go into further details, Abrar Sahib, if you allow me, you have already sent me a video which you wanted us to share. Do you think that that video, this is a proper time to make that video run here today, or you want it to be run at the end of the program? What do you suggest?
I suggest you run the video now.
Okay, so we are going to try to run a video which is around 5 minutes long, and it is going to tell us few of the endeavors which ABRAR Hussain Syed Saab is having at the moment. Let's enjoy the video. I hope that its audio and visual is going to be
خواب دیکھنے سے ڈرتے ہیں. ہمیں خیال کرنا ہوگا چھوٹی سی عمر میں ہم نے انہیں کسی کا گھریلو ملازم تو نہیں بنا دیا، اور اگر یہ لڑکے ہیں تو یہ کسی ظالم استاد کی گالیاں اور جھڑکیاں کھانے پر مجبور تو نہیں ہیں. ہمیں یہ بھی دیکھنا ہوگا کہ یہ بچے اپنی پسند کی چیزیں کہاں ڈھونڈتے ہیں اور انہیں وہاں کیا ملتا ہے. موسم کے پھل اور کھانے کی پسندیدہ چیزیں انہیں کہاں دستیاب ہوتی ہیں اور یہ کہاں بیٹھ کر کھاتے ہیں. ہمیں یہ بھی تجسس ہوگا، ہم یہ جاننا چاہیں گے کہ انہیں کاغذ، قلم، پینسل کیسے ملتا ہے اور یہ کہاں بیٹھ کر پڑھتے ہیں. کیا ہمیں یہ سوال نہیں پوچھنا چاہیے کہ کیا عمر ہوتی ہے جس میں یہ گھر سے کام کرنے کے لیے نکل کھڑے ہوتے ہیں؟ کہیں ایسا تو نہیں ہے یہ کسی ظالم کی چھڑی میں اپنی زندگی کا آغاز کرتے ہیں؟ جب یہ اسکول جاتے ہیں تو کیا انہیں بیٹھنے کی مناسب جگہ ملتی ہے یا یہ سہمے ہوئے رہتے ہیں؟ سردیوں میں یہ ٹھنڈے فرش پر ان کے بیٹھنا ان کی مقدر تو نہیں، بالکل قیدیوں کی طرح. اور جب گرمیاں آتی ہیں تو انہیں تپتے ہوئے فرش پر بیٹھنا پڑتا ہے تاکہ اپنی تعلیم کا سلسلہ جاری رکھ سکیں. جب بھی اپنے क्लासों में बैठते हैं तो क्या इन्हें डेस्क कुर्सी जैसी तईशात नसीब होती हैं? ये जिन टूटे फूटे क्लासरूम में बैठते हैं वहाँ इनके सर के ऊपर छत मौजूद भी होती है या नहीं? और जब बारिश होती है तो कीचड़ इनकी तालीम से कितने फासले पर होता है? हम ये सब सवाल पूछने पड़ेंगे। हम ये जानना चाहेंगे जब ये स्कूल जाते हैं इन्हें को पढ़ाने के लिए दस्तयाब भी होता है या नहीं, और अगर दस्तयाब होता है तो एक क्लास में कितने बच्चे होते हैं और इनफरादी तवज्जो किसको नसीब हो सकती है। हम ये देखेंगे कि क्या ऐसा तो नहीं है कि इन क्लासों में बच्चों का एक हजूम है जिसमें हम इन बच्चों की इनफरादियत को गुम कर रहे हैं। कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं हमने इनसे खेल खिलौने तक छीन लिए हैं और ये माशरे से रूठ गए हैं। मुझे खौफ आता है कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है कि ये बच्चे हमसे हमारे पूरे माशरे से नाराज़ हो गए हैं। ये अपने ख्यालात को
Okay, Abrar Sahab, we have watched the video. We had the glimpses of the video, not the complete video, and that was with the purpose. Let us let us know what was the basic one factor which made you, which compelled you, which propelled you to go into that level where you have opened this Telling Room Academy and all that stuff.
I mentioned it briefly in the introduction that this country and this nation has given me so much. I never make an effort to hide my background. I come from a very humble background, and this nation and this country has given me a lot. They educated me in the institutions of Pakistan Air Force and Pakistan Army. I was trained, and further training in various institutions try to polish the ability, that little ability that I had. And I always thought that we have not done justice to all this if we don't make an effort to return it back to the country and this world. At the same time, one can make very lofty plans and can wait for the right opportunity and the correct resources when to start. But I am of the opinion if you keep waiting for the right time and the appropriate resources, maybe then you will never be able to do it. There are a lot of people who have met me, they have got very good plans, but they are making plans. But I am of the opinion with little resources, if you start a project like this, then God Almighty will help you. And over a period
Mr.
of time,
Mr. Abrar, let me interrupt you here. I mean, this was the case which made you successful in your transaction. That doesn't mean that if a person is making the plans, he is doing the wrong thing, or if he is taking sufficient time to make it a foolproof thing. I don't think that it would be bad in idea itself. Let me know about your comments upon that thing, number one. Number two, if that is the case, I must ask you to define life to you. With the title you have chosen for yourself today, I wonder that what do you think that what life expects from us in the real sense?
I agree with you. Being a military person, whenever we do a military operation, we never do it without planning. And there's a lot of detailed planning that goes into it. But at the same time, from military also, if you think that our best success in the Islamic history, 313 people facing 1,000, what kind of planning could you make? I remember I read it somewhere that Holy Prophet night was praying to God that, oh God, in the face of 1,000 or more people fully equipped, I brought only 313 people. Unless you put in your blessings, we will not be successful. So there was a planning. They chose a perfect ground for fighting. And their planning to send in the most brave people in the front was there. But at the same time, they have to leave a lot of things on Allah. So I am for the planning. And with the little resources that I had, I did make a plan. But as always, I had to leave a lot on God. Good intentions, good planning, but then you have to leave things to God.
Okay, with your answer coming my way, it has triggered me to think in different perspective towards life. And this is a point which would be most suitable to ask you the definition of adversity. For me, when you say that you come from the humble beginning, I must be sure that you have come across many challenging times in your life. So, how do you see the adversity and the challenging testing times in journal? And looking at this pandemic in specific, what would be your comment about it?
Actually, when I listen to your question, you put so much of various dimensions of wisdom into one question that I take time to grasp the essential. But what I grasp, I will try to answer that question. Uh, as they say, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. People and nations, they only prosper and they only progress in the face of challenges. If a person or a nation doesn't have challenges or adversities in his life, then his actual worth, actual element would not be visible. And lucky are those who are presented challenges in their life, all kind of challenges. Then they recognize their own gift and they try to combat those challenges. And in the process, they become better person and they shine. It has happened in my life. And when I relate it to the pandemic, I think in my lifetime, I have not seen such a crisis that has challenged the whole world. It has affected rich and poor, black and white, Oriental and the Caucasian. It has affected everybody. But I sometimes say this is not the test for the poor who are starving. It is not test for the sick who are suffering. It is the test for the people who have money, who have resources. It is their test. It is the test of the people who can share a helping hand. It is not a test for them. They are suffering. So, little effort that you can make. For example, if 350 families got a little bit from the platform of my school with the help of my friend, this is something that we are supposed to do. Challenges are there. And I think in the pandemic will have a lot of bad things, but it has positive aspects also. For example, you may think that I'm cruel to say, but after the pandemic, with the skies free of all aviation, road free of car, the pollution has decreased. The pollution has decreased. The dolphins are returning back to the water. The birds are coming back to the jungle. So at the same time, good feelings are also returning back to good people. Although there are other negative people also, but the good things are coming back to people. People are talking about it, joining hands to help each other, reach out and ask about well-being. My sister, who lives in Switzerland, she made it a routine after the pandemic. She is calling me because I'm away from the family, and my son, who is also in Canada, away from the family, and she makes it a point to call everybody. Before this, our connection was not so strong. So I think I have been able to. I don't know whether I've been able to answer your question or not.
Yeah, as you had said that you are just standing on the definition and delicate point of cruelty, because to me this all was possible with the softer version of the encountership we have received so far. So in the meantime, before we proceed, let us take few of the people who are waiting for us to join. First of all, it is Mariam Abrar. Mariam, am I audible? Are you here? Are you there?
Ye-
Mariam, are you there?
ye- yes, I can hear you.
What do you want to say? Who are you? From where you are? What is the question you have for Abrar sir?
First of all, I want to say I feel so lucky that I have a father like him. He's more friend than a father. Yes, and he's a very great person. Very, very, very good person.
Yeah, I'm
Very
sure
nice.
about it. Do you have any question for the audience to share the wisdom? Because if you are going to ask question, the answer to
Hmm.
your question would help people to understand more about Abrar sir.
Yes, I think he should promote his school so more people can learn from there. I think he should promote his school. Yeah.
Thank you, Mariam. Keep watching, and we are going to ask Abrar Sahab about his further plans of promoting his school setup. Before we
Yeah.
go further, let us take Miss Azmat here. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
My my mother and I are in the same room at the moment, and my phone seems to be losing contact rapidly. Uh, well, what I would want to say about my dad is that he's someone with a vision. You know, some people they follow the rules. The basic rules of society are: you go to a school, then you go to a university, then you go get a job, and then you settle with that job. Once that job finishes off, you go back to retirement. That's the basic rule of society. But in his case, uh, he he did follow that line to some extent, but that's not all that he did so far. He's always been someone who walks outside the lines, who walks outside the boundaries of normal men. And I guess it was his passion and his dream to build something for charity, to do something for children who are not that fortunate, around the world, so that if it weren't for him, many of the kids that we have in our school would never get a proper education. They'd never experience school at all, because their parents are from, you know, very very poor backgrounds. People who pull carts in the morning. People who drive tractors for a living. People who drive
I
small
take it.
taxis for a living.
Yeah, I can fully agree. I can understand from where you're coming, and I agree with you. Thank you very much for all of your comments. Abrar Sahab, with all the people telling so much about your school, what would be your future plans about the school? How you think that you are going to promote this setup? If this setup is so much beneficial for the people, why don't you promote it on the higher level?
Good. Uh, Actually, because I was when I started the school, I was in uniform, and I could not give it full time. I didn't have resources also, so I started in a two-room building which was rented. But after becoming a United Nations peacekeeper, I had better resources, so I moved into a better building. But you understand that today also, while I'm sitting in Morocco, in the northern Africa, and my school is running in Pakistan, Rawalpindi, there's a limit to which I can remotely control its progress and activities. But in due course of time, I think in a couple of years, I will be retiring from, I'll have my second retirement. First retirement from the military and second retirement from United Nations. I think that is the time I will join it personally full time. And I think that is the time I will try to boost it to the level. I don't call it my school, I call it Talent Bloom Academy. It's a children's university, because I always forbid my teachers to have any corporal punishment, no physical punishment to the children. I had read it somewhere that when a student doesn't learn, there can be only two possibilities. There's something wrong with the teacher, or there is something wrong with the lesson. There's never anything wrong with the student, because he's there to learn. So with this thing, when in couple of years when I retire second time, I have a plan to promote it on the full scale, and I hope platforms like your platform will help me to promote it and reach more people. Thank you.
Why not, Abrar Sahab? Abrar Sahab, we have talked much about of school. Just proceed on the different angle now. In your introduction, you have told us there's so many designations you are carrying, so many hats on your head. You are an ex-military pilot, you are flying instructor, you are aircraft accident investigator, something flashy. You are philanthropist, you are United Nations International peacekeeper, you are running a school, you are residing in Morocco, you had been in different countries, you are traveling a lot. With that much diversity in your profile, I must ask you a question, that if someone asks you that you are going to summarize your experiences of life for the young people listening this program today, and watching you on this platform, and they are sitting and confined to their homes in their frustration and uncertainty, what would be their that lesson or advice from you, from person with that much wisdom and knowledge?
Thank you very much. As a matter of fact, if you ask me, did I plan to become everything that I finally eventually become? I still think it's a very humble life. I didn't achieve anything very great, but at the same time, from where I started, this is a big success. I would like to share a little bit of my background. When I was in class 3, I made a road accident and I fractured my leg. My leg was put in a plaster for 6 weeks, but I was very mischievous, very naughty, very active. And in those days, we used to live in a small home with your parents. In couple of days, with those plaster on my leg, I started to walk around. And in 2 weeks, I was able to climb the wall and jump outside my home. After 6 weeks, when the plaster was removed, my leg had joined not like this, it joined like this. And when they opened it, I looked at it and I started crying. I've never seen a leg joined like this. And it was like a roadside beggar. I have only seen it in the beggar. And my parents, they were very disturbed what to do. We went around, it was 1969, end of 1969 or 70. So we went to various places. It was very difficult. Somebody told us such operations can take place only in the military hospital. And my mother took me to the military hospital. What happened? The soldier standing on the gate, they did not let us enter the military hospital. Because when you are poor, it is written on your face that you are poor. He did not let us enter the hospital. And after many, many, many years, when the God was in time and he was not in hurry, I became a lieutenant colonel and I was a pilot and I was a flying instructor. I took my mother in a military jeep to the same hospital. When we were entering, when we reached near the military hospital gate, two soldiers ran and they opened the gate and they saluted me. And my mother looked at me and asked me, "Do you remember this place?" And I said, "I remember. How can I forget this place?" So that is the kind of progress that I have made. So for some people, becoming a lieutenant colonel in the army, or becoming a flying instructor, or becoming a peacekeeper in the United Nations may not be a big thing. Obviously, it's not a big thing. But from where I started, it's a big leap. It's a big success. And I actually, if you ask me, if I sometime when I pray to God, I don't ask anything. I say, God, you have already given me more than what I deserve, what I made effort for. So if you are listening to me, please accept my gratitude, only my gratitude. And I've heard from my father that God has said, "लाइन शक्कर तुम लाज़ीदन्नकुम." अगर तुम शुक्र करोगे तो हम बढ़ा दें. So I always pray. So putting on different hats, I did not plan any one of these things. I just took everything in the positive spirit and made a positive effort. I was selected for Pakistan Air Force. I was in the military academy. So I did everything positively and took the life.
Abrar Sahab, let me interrupt you here because I am ambassador of the young people listening and watching you, and I always speak their language, in their tone, in their behavior. I must be watching you, and you must take me as someone rude and rebellion, but that is the way I conduct these programs. Whatever you are saying is theoretically seems very logical, and it seems that you have carved the answers as per theory of the books. And theory says these things, right? If theory is that much important, that is not going to serve the purpose today. You are not going to leave this platform unless you are going to share as a practical examples, practical things you have done. I mean, you have shared as an example of this military hospital and the gate and security guards. Let me ask you a question, a straightforward question. Tell my audience 2 to 3 things which you did during that journey of converting yourself, standing on their security guard post, not entering the gate, and then another point of time where the gates were opened and people were saluting you. The journey was a transformational thing, but you are unable to tell us 2 or 3 practical, measurable, accountable steps which you have taken in order to teach the people who are watching you.
I'm very happy. I'm very happy. From you bring things to very a concise manner. Although it may not be possible for me to bring a recipe of success, but I will try to answer the question. I always feel that God has given spark to everybody. There's a spark in everybody. So I think you must flourish your spark, protect your spark, number one. Number two, never pen anything. No procrastination. I will do it tomorrow. No, no. I'm telling you a very positive, practical step. We always put, okay, I will clean my cupboard tomorrow. It starts from small things. I will clean my cupboard tomorrow. I will clean the junk emails from my inbox tomorrow. I will delete the unnecessary pictures from my mobile phone tomorrow. And you realize that if you keep postponing, procrastinating, things keep piling up and become from dirtier to dirtiest and dirtier. So do it today. Do it today. Number one. Number two, never wait for the ideal environments. Ideal environment would never be there. Ideal environment would never be there. There would be favorable elements in every environment, and there would be challenges in every environment. And the good people, they cash on to the favorable environments, favorable element of a challenging environment, and they overcome the challenges of the those environments. Number two. Number three, always value what you have. Always value what you have and thank God. Always keep thanking God. By thanking God, there are two aspects. Number one is a spiritual thing. For talking from purely from belief that if you thank Allah, it will give you. But as a matter of fact, merely by thanking, it gives you a peace. There's a peace that comes to your self, and it gives you additional energy. I was reading somewhere that uh, if I always like to hear Ashfaq Ahmed, and one day he said that in my window there are 2 sparrows who are sitting, a mother sparrow and a daughter sparrow, and they are talking to themselves. So I, being an author, I sometimes visualize what they must be talking. So the daughter sparrow was asking the mother sparrow, why these human beings are always restless? Why they keep running from here to there? Why they keep collecting things? Why they keep counting their money? And the mother sparrow said, oh, my daughter, let's pray for them because they don't have a God like we have, so we don't worry so much. If the human beings also have a faith in God, they will not be worried so much. They will not have so much of anxiety. So I would like to repeat again. Never procrastinate, do everything today. Never wait for the ideal environment. Cash on to every environment, there would be favorable element and you will be able to overcome the challenges. Number three, have a conviction on positive things. And they always come back to you. They always come back to you. Now, I remember those beautiful moments that we spent when you were a young boy. And we used to sit sipping a cup of tea and talking to each other. I never knew it will come back to me. It will come back to me. I will see Shahzad Ahmed, so well groomed, so well polished, asking me all those difficult questions for which I have to strive hard to find a concrete answer. So this is coming back. This is coming back. And I tell you, the children who have passed out from my school, now they are in university. And when we have an annual function, they come back and they share, oh, we did this and we did that. I don't know whether I was able to answer your question or not, but I think these 3 things have always helped me. And you were trying to get my wife also on live. I think if you get her on live with Qasim, she may be able to, I hope she treats me with kindness and doesn't talk bad about me. You can get her online. She would be able to share something.
Assalamu alaikum, Azmat. Miss Azmat, assalamu alaikum.
Abul.
Assalamu alaikum.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम. Mrs. Abrar, how are you? आप ठीक हैं?
I am fine. I am fine. I am listening your.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Abrar. We were talking about Abrar Saab's contributions and his endeavors
He's
with all the
very,
students.
very, very nice man. He's very genius. He's good husband. He's good son. He's good father. He's good brother. He has a lot of qualities. I
Okay,
love him very much.
keeping all the qualities apart, let us share few of the improvement areas of the personality now.
He's genius man. He has his personality is full of qualities.
Okay,
I
do
think
you have
Shadab,
a
आप उर्दू में बात करें.
हाँ,
um,
मैं
uh,
ये बताना चाहूंगी आपको कि मेरे हस्बैंड जो हैं वो बहुत ही जीनियस आदमी है और इन्होंने जिस फील्ड में भी हाथ रखे अल्लाह ताला ने इनको कामयाबी दी है और इसकी वजह ये है कि ये अपने अम्मी अब्बू की दुआओं में हैं और ये बहुत अच्छे बेटे हैं, बहुत अच्छे हस्बैंड हैं, बहुत अच्छे बाप हैं। इनमें बहुत क्वालिटीज है। आप ये देखें कि अल्लाह ताला ने इनको इतना इनको दिया है कि अल्लाह ताला ने इनको ये भी इख्तियार दिया कि ये स्कूल में आंखों का वो चलाते हैं, कैंप चलाते हैं और कितने लोगों को अल्लाह ताला ने इनकी वजह से आंखों की रोशनी दी है। बहुत सारे बच्चे ऐसे थे जो अपने स्कूल नहीं जा सकते थे, तो इनकी वजह से बहुत सारे बच्चों को एजुकेशन मिल गई है। तो मैं
मिसेस
कहती हूँ
अबरार, ये
कि
वो
इस
तमाम
आप
चीज़ें जो
हैं
है
वो
हम ऑलरेडी
बहुत ही अल्लाह ताला ने
यस
इनको बहुत क्वालिटीज दी हुई है जी।
बिल्कुल सही कह रही हैं आप। मुझे ये बताइए कि इस वक्त ये प्रोग्राम पूरी दुनिया में देखा जा रहा है, ये
जी जी।
प्रोग्राम पूरी दुनिया में देखा जा रहा है और लोग जो हैं वो इनकी कंट्रीब्यूशंस को एक तरफ तो देख चुके हैं, सुन चुके हैं। मुझे ये बताइए कि ऐसे कौन से एलिमेंट्स हैं जो आप समझती हैं कि ये अपनी पर्सनालिटी के अभी और ठीक कर लें तो ये दुनिया के लिए और ज़्यादा फ़ायदेमंद हो सकते हैं। वो एक या दो क्वालिटीज़ ऐसी बताएं जो और ज़्यादा इम्प्रूव करने की गुंजाइश है।
नहीं, इनको इम्प्रूव करने की गुंजाइश नहीं है। इनके अंदर बहुत क्वालिटीज हैं और इनको इनके वालिद की दुआ है कि ये मेरा बेटा जो है सदर पाकिस्तान बनेगा। तो मेरा तो ख्याल है कि ये ये जब सदर पाकिस्तान बन जाएंगे ना तो फिर सारी क्वालिटीज इनकी खुल के सामने आ जाएंगी, जो आपको नहीं भी पता चलेंगी ना वो भी पता चल जाएंगी। इनके
बहुत
वालिद साहब
शुक्रिया।
इनको दुआ ही ये देते थे कि मेरा बेटा बहुत जीनियस है, हाँ इस मुल्क का बादशाह बनेगा। तो आप फिर सोच लें कि जिस के बारे में उसके वालिद साहब की ये राय हो तो उस इंसान में कमी नहीं होती,
बहुत
ज्यादती
शुक्रिया,
हो
अपना
सकती,
बहुत ज़्यादा
कमी नहीं
ख्याल
हो
रखिएगा,
सकती। और
अपना बहुत
हाँ
ज़्यादा ख्याल
इंशाल्लाह ये
रखिएगा
बहुत
इंशाल्लाह फिर। ठीक, थैंक यू वेरी मच। अबरार साहब मुझे ये बताइए, अबरार साहब मुझे ये बताइए, let me put a question from the other perspective. Take me as an individual who is carrying all kinds of limitations with himself. For example, take me as a person with physical disability, facing all kinds of financial crisis, having stretched out on emotional grounds, and having no job, confined to the home at the moment. How do you want me or expect me to behave in this kind of situation?
You're right. You're right. This is a very stressful period that the world is passing through. Many of us actually are in that situation that is explained by you. We are without jobs, the resources are running out, and there is a desperation. To be honest with you, it's not easy. It's not easy to suggest something positive for that. But I would say that this is the time, if you have basic resources, this is the time to ponder. This is the time to think positively. This is the time to read. This is the time to interact with people like you to get inspiration. And you get ready for the time when the pandemic, lockdown, and this situation will be over. And then you'll be better equipped to, it's a compulsory rest that has been given to you. It's a compulsory confinement that has been given to you. Actually, we talk to a lot of people, but I feel that sometimes people don't talk to themselves. The monologue sometimes is important. Monologue that doesn't lead to self-pity. Self-pity is very dangerous. Sometimes when you do monologue and you do self-pity, that becomes counterproductive. But when you talk to yourself and you make positive plans, do the brainstorming, then this time can be used very effectively. You can pick up a piece of paper and write down, when the pandemic is over, I plan to do this thing. I have to study this book. I have to read this. I have to do this. I have, for this time, for example, I told you, there's a time to stop procrastinating. make a wish list. What I'm going to do after this, and self-improvement. And I think when the lockdown is over, when you come out, you'll be a better person to face the world. That is one thing that comes to my mind. But in the lockdown days, people have found new ways of working. People are demanding and collecting things online. Online business has increased. So if you have something to offer, and you can do it online, you can find new ways of finding ways. For example, you are using this time. I give your example. You are using this time when people are sitting at home. What positive things you are giving to them? What a great thing that you are bringing to people. Talking about positive things and inspiration. And let's say 100 people are listening to our talk, and only out of those 110 people pick up a pen and paper. They try to read, clean their cupboard, delete unnecessary things from their mobile, pick up bigger, better habits, and their better plans when the lockdown is over. I think you have made a success. You have changed some people's life.
Okay, Abrar Sahab, probably second last question because we are running out of time already. You have this is the problem I always have with the people who are wisdomful. I remain unable to keep that track of time. Second last question to you. As your family members already have indicated a personality trait you have been balancing your roles of a son, of a husband, of a father, of a brother so much beautifully, and on the other end you have told us that you have been carrying out your professional traveling and all that stuff very aggressively. You tell the audience that what is the art of creating the balance between different roles of the personality. For example, if a person is living abroad, how he is going to maintain his health first of all, how he is going to get the connectivity spiritually with the creator, at the same time listening to the calls of the sister and talking to the mother daily basis, and then keeping a track of his kids and wife and all that stuff. What is the art of creating the balance between different roles of the personality?
Thank you very much. When I got married, so we had a chat with my wife, and I told her, never feel jealous of my parents and my sister and my brother, because my love with them is older than your love. And if I fulfill the older love, you can rest assured that the new love will also flourish. And I think always when you within the family, there can be friction between the various relationships within the family. But if you make popular decisions, a decision which is popular with your mother, popular with your wife, but there can always be a right decision. Popular decisions or right decisions. I always believe in making the right decision. Your right decision may not be popular, but in the long run, they will earn you respect, and people will respect your judgment. That is the one thing. Keeping healthy, I how the health is defined. How the health is defined. There are very simple criteria for a good health, and I read it somewhere. If you can sleep without sleeping pills, number one, you should be able to sleep without any medicine. When you get up in the morning, you are fresh. When you want to eat, you have appetite, and you can go to the toilet and empty your bowels, and you always have positive things in your mind. So 5 things. You can sleep without effort. When you get up in the morning, you are fresh. When you eat, you have appetite. And when you go to the toilet, you are able to empty your bowels. And you are always thinking about positive things. I tell you, your health you will not have many health problems. But other things I do, in the morning, every morning, I do a light exercise, very light exercise, because I'm getting old, so I don't do a very rigorous exercise. And my father told me, love me little but long. So you should do a small exercise that you can always do. Doing a gym training or something you can do for a short while, but then you get fed up with it. So do a small exercise that you can always do. I always drink 3 glasses of warm water with honey and lemon. That is my routine. So I try to keep healthy. And the foods also, I would like to share with you my theory about foods also. Food can be subdivided into 3 kinds. Number one, is the way it is found in nature and you can eat it. Like fruit, your salad. This is the first quality of food. When you eat this kind of food, it enters your body and the body says, thank you very much. But the second kind of food, with little bit of process, it is easy to it. It is ready for eating, and when it goes into your body, like if you cook vegetables with little bit of effort, not much oil, not much, the body says, okay, good, thank you. But there is third kind of food that is cooked for the whole night, shabdeg and halim and nihari, and you add spices, you cook them in one and then you put it on the other. When this kind of food enters your body, the body says, oh my God, oh my God. So eat right kind of food, healthy food, not too much. And that is light exercise, starting the morning with warm water, with honey and lemon, picking up the right kind of food, that will keep you healthy. Making sure that you stay connected with everybody, you have to be in love with all of them, and you don't have to be selfish about yourself. When you do that, I think it comes naturally to most of us. But if you make an effort, I am of the opinion that your parents, for example, they are so easy to please them. It's so easy to please them. It's not easy to please your boss, but it's very easy to please your parents. You do a small thing for them, and the whole day they can give you a blessing. Likewise, your wife. I have seen people spending time and resources on girlfriends and everybody, but it's not easy to please a girlfriend. But it's very easy to please your wife. I tell you, people waste a lot of money and energy outside their family. I'm of the opinion that if you value what you have, like your parents, your brothers, your sister, your wife, your children, and friends like you, Shazad, if you value people around you, you become a happier person. You become a very happy person. So I don't think there's an art. You must look at the positive things and it comes naturally to you. I hope I was able to answer the question up to some extent.
Yeah, sure, you have done it. Abrar Saab, many young people, young university graduates watching you, and you have mentioned a couple of times that you had been working for United Nations. If a young person asks you that what is the basic criteria to enter into a good organization like this one, what would be your advice to him?
Okay, good question. Good question. United Nations is basically a voluntary organization that is working for the whole world. As a matter of fact, it has got many departments. For example, the Department of Peacekeeping. You have UNICEF. You have World Food Program. You have United Nations Development Program that is working in many countries. So there are many ways of joining them. As far as United Nations concerned, uh, basic criteria for most of the field is that you should have a master degree from a recognized university, and you have progressive experience for at least 5 years. People like me who come with 30 years of background with the flying and accident investigation and flight safety, for them the experience of 30 years plus their university degree can make a good prerequisite. And as far as possible, humanly possible, United Nations recruitment process is perfect as far as humanly possible. It is not dependent on people's whims and liking and disliking. So there's a process in which so many people and entities are involved. There's a website which is called Inspire. So people can go there, log on, and there's a self-guided profile that you can create. It is called PHP. You can create your own profile, fill in your details, and then the the different vacancies in different departments will start to appear, and you can apply for them.
How do you spell this website? Inspire, because I'm going to display this name here right now.
Okay, okay. It is INSPIRA, inspira.un.org.
Okay, let's have a glimpse on it. Is it right?
Uh, no, not inspiration, Inspira.
inspira.un.org. Okay, what do you say about it?
Yes.
Is it right?
Yes, it's right.
Okay, you are saying that this is the website where a person, a young university graduate or a person with 5 years of experience and a master's degree can go and make his own profile updated, and the people are going to connect with him, right?
Yes, and there's one more way of joining. People can join United Nations as a what do you call it, internship. The bright people can be picked up by United Nations for internship. I think if you go into United Nations internship program, you will find that how people can join the internship in various countries. You can go meet wonderful people and go to amazing lands, and you can do your internship from with United Nations.
I think this is beautiful. I think this is going to make the people stick with it. And with this, Abrar Sahab, I think that we are going beyond the time of the prescribed time of the interview. But I have a lot of time for you, and the people are not going to get away from you because questions are being bombarded at me. Here is a person. He is asking Sayyid Amir Hussain Saab. He is saying that many of the people around us want to become the pilot, and you had been into this flying thing of your life. And this is, this is very flashy and fancy for the people to listen about this accident investigator thing, and the pilot and the person flying helicopters over Siachen. This is fascination for many of us. So you contribute to that fascination. You add value to that fascination, and tell us some gloomy type and full of adventure type stories here for a moment.
Why not? Uh, I have read somewhere that the pilots, they don't envy anybody. The doctors can envy engineers, and engineers can envy doctors or accountants, but the pilots, they don't envy anybody, because you look at the pilots, look at the world from above. They look everybody. They have to look at the world. They look down. They won't. We don't look down on anybody. But pilots, when you look up to the pilot, you look up. You always look up at the pilots. So how I inspired people is, the first example is my daughter, who wanted to be a pilot, and she became a pilot. And my daughter is a pilot just like me. And flying is, somebody asked me, what is the, is it difficult to fly an aircraft? And I told him, the most difficult machine to ride is a bicycle. Why? Because you have to maintain the balance, you have to pedal, you have to bell everything, physical, everything has to be done. As compared to bicycle, the motorbike is little easier because you don't have to pedal, the engine is there. But you are not free from the rain and sun and everything. Next step easier is the car, which is four wheels, stable. But the easiest thing is the aircraft, because there's no gears, there's no road, there's no traffic signal. There's a complete freedom from gravity. When you take off, you leave all the cares and worries of the world behind you, and you're a free man. You feel like a king. So flying is fascinating, no doubt. And in my career, I was, most of the time I was a flying instructor, and I was teaching flying to people. Have been teaching flying in Army Aviation School, and I was in the flying instructor school in the PF Academy Risalpur also. I have the honor to be an instructor in the flying instructor school. And I always enjoyed teaching flying. And that is word thing, because people who want to become pilot, they're very eager. They are eager to learn, full of energy. They want to hang on to every word that you speak. Now my students, some of my students have become brigadiers, and two of them are already generals. My students are generals. And my students in the Air Force, they have also become Air Commodore. And my students in other countries, in the Gulf, and they also become very reaching very high ranks. So when I interact with them, it's always a pleasure. So taking up flying as a profession, there are two ways. Either you can pay and become a pilot, or you can be paid to become a pilot. If you join the Pakistan Air Force and Pakistan military and you become a pilot, then you become a pilot and they pay you. But if you want to learn flying from the flying club, then you pay and you learn flying. So these are the two ways. If you want to, if you have the ability and you have got a desire to join the Pakistan Air Force or Pakistan Army, join it as a pilot. And the world of adventure is waiting for you. And the friend that you make, I don't know, some of my friends from Army Aviation or Air Force may be listening to these things, and some of them may be laughing at me because for them I'm an old friend, and when I talk about wisdom or seriousness, they can laugh at me, but I can join their laughter.
Okay, Amir Hussain Sahab says that you met an accident, you encountered a fatal accident during flying. Do you want us to have a story about it and briefly tell us that how you recover from that thing?
I will. It's a very good part. I was flying my helicopters in the northern area. It was 1995, 1996, sorry. And I was flying, and we were two helicopters flying on the high mountains facing the Kargil. This is the area where the Kargil war was fought. We took off from Skardu. We went across those high plains, and we were flying when my helicopter entered into a problem, mechanical failure, and something went wrong with the rotor system. I was not able to hold the helicopter up in the air, but I could maneuver it a little into the valley. So I maneuvered the helicopter into a valley, and there's nothing that a pilot can do. I finally made a controlled crash landing on a rock. And after making the impact with that rock, my helicopter rolled another 150 feet down the slope. And we were four people on board. My 11 bones were fractured. My backbone was fractured, three fingers in the right foot, three fingers in the left foot, my left wrist and an ankle, and couple of other bones were fractured. My co-pilot, who happened to be my student also, his name is Colonel Amir Ayub, he was very severely injured. His both arms were fractured and his leg was broken into two pieces. And he was bleeding so profoundly that by the time we reached Skardu, he was practically dead. There was a technician with us who jumped out of the helicopter. When he jumped out of the helicopter, he had a backbone fracture and there were 50 stitches on his face. There was a captain who was sitting right behind my seat. He came out scratchless. Nothing happened to him. So we were recovered. We always fly in pairs. So the other helicopter was following us, and there were two great pilots who were flying that. The leading was Colonel Shabab, and who is also in resignation now. And the second was my student and a very bright Brigadier Sajjad Hussain. He was following us in the other helicopter. So when I gave them a call, Mayday, 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 I'm going to make an impact on the ground, so and so location. It was close to a place called Gultari. So they came and they saw the wreckage from the air and they thought maybe nobody's alive. And the passengers with them were only two generals. So they made a landing near to the crash site and the only manpower available was two generals. So those two generals came out and they took Amir Ayub out of the wreckage. And he was very severely injured. So they put me and Amir in the helicopter and we were evacuated to Skardu. The two generals, they walked up to find the technician. The technician had later on General Aziz, he came to see me in the hospital and he told me a very interesting story. He said when we reached on the top, we saw this technician was bleeding. When he looked at us, he said, "Sir ji, marte mein jana, mere boot la do." So the one general removed his one shoe and the other general removed the other boot. After 5 minutes, he started feeling cold and he said, "Sir ji, marte mein jana, mere boot pa do." And one general put his one shoes and the other, he said the man, he made us remove his shoes and then put them on. So we were recovered to the Skardu, but our condition was so bad that the next helicopter was ready for us to bring us to Rawalpindi. And I stayed in the hospital for 1 year. And gradually my backbone also recovered. And after about 1 year and 1 month, I was fit to fly again. And I was flying again. And when the nuclear explosion took place in Quetta, I was there. I was part of that exercise, and I was in close to Rasco. The last helicopter site is Dalbadin. I was landing there, and I was given my son Asim was born in Quetta, just to prove that I was physically completely fit. So we gave birth to another boy also. Amir
Okay,
Hussain.
that is okay. That is great. Abrar Sahab, just to conclude the discussion, I must pay you big thanks for all the wisdom shared by you. All these things which are coming from your side is a reflection that no knowledge is your own knowledge. No knowledge was possessed and created by yourself. It is all acquired knowledge which you have taken from your mentors and the books and the literature and all the good people around you. If the people are watching you and they want to have that similar kind of wisdom for themselves, what do you recommend them? Is there any set of books or a list of recommended books from your side, or do you think that there are some good movies to watch on, and or any other stuff which you want to share the people? If anybody wants to contact you as a mentor, are you available for that? And if the answer is yes, how a person can contact you? All these details and something else if you want to share with the people.
Okay. Thank you very much. Because we have already taken a lot of time, and I will answer the question in the reverse order. First of all, anybody with reference to my small talk here with you, that you gave me an opportunity, I am free. I'm always I'm ready to be approached, and you can approach me through my Facebook, ABRAR HUSSAIN SYED. You can approach me through my email, which Shahzad can share with you. My name is Abrar, ABRARAMQA. AMQA is my family member. Azmat Mariam Qasim Asim. Abrar Amka. ABRARAMQA @hotmail.com. That is my email address. Talking about books. A lot of books have inspired me, but I will talk about only few of them. Recently, I've been inspired by a book which is name is The 5 Major Regrets in Life. It is written by a lady in Australia, and she was taking care of a lot of people who were terminally ill people. You know, when you are about to die, in 1 month or 2 months about I'll go to die, then your perspective or view about life completely changes. And she used to ask this question from them. Now that you know that you are ending the life, what do you regret in life? And when I read this book, I asked this question from everybody. Now I ask you, Shadad, I ask you, okay, now you are asking the question, now I ask you a question. If, let's suppose, God forbid, you know that your time is running out from life, what would you regret in life? What can be the major regret? Tell me.
Yeah, it's a straight question, and I'm not really prepared for this. Therefore, genuine answer is coming out of my mind. I think that everybody is given excellence level to achieve, and every human being is built to perform at his excellence level. I would have, when I look back into my life, I would must say that I have not done justice with that excellence level which was given to me. If that is that suffices my answer. If that
No
would be.
problem. Your answer is good. Every answer is right. No, there is no wrong answer. But when she contacted so many people, she tried to generalize and how many people answered which question. You'll be surprised. The top regret in life of the people who are dying is, I wish I had not worked so hard. Working hard is good, but becoming a workaholic and pending every enjoyment and every happiness in life for tomorrow is not a good thing, because you only have a limited time. So working hard is good, but he says, I wish I had not worked so hard. Number 2, regret in the life of the people who are dying is, I wish I had expressed myself. We don't express ourselves. Number 3, I wish I had become the person that I wanted to be and not the person that I was expected to be. And number 4 regret is, I wish I had spent more time with my family and friends. These are the things that we value. But I mean, explaining that book in 5 questions is not a justice to that great writing. And while she was interacting with all those people who are about to die, she was discovering her own self. Shazad, I'm sure you will agree with me. When you talk of people, when people share a lot of things with you, you keep discovering your own self. You always discover new things about yourself. That is one book that I really admire. The second book is very good, Your Erroneous Zones. It's a very bestseller book, and it talks about something that you must get rid of. For example, the opening statement was that we have to rephrase certain things in our life. For example, some people say, I cannot leave smoking. They say, you should not say, I cannot leave smoking. You should say, I do not want to leave smoking. Because the day you really want to leave smoking, you will leave. And people say, she turns me on. You should rephrase it and say, when I look at her, I turn myself on. How can she turn you on? How can anybody turn you on? You turn yourself on. I was not in that book, but I will tell you a very interesting experiment that was conducted. A strong man was told to hang on to a wire with both hands. And they wanted to see his endurance. How long can you hang on? And he was hanging there for 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, say, enough, now I cannot hang any longer. So the man said, okay, if you hang there for 1 minute, I'll give you $100. $100? And he was hanging there for one more minute. And then he said, no, I cannot. He said, okay, 30 seconds, and I give you $500. $500? Another 5 minutes, he was hanging. And then he said, no matter how much money you give, I'm going to leave. The man took out his pistol and said, if you fall down, I shoot you. And he was hanging there for another 10 minutes. Now I tell you what happens. First 5 minutes is the human physical endurance. That 5 minutes you can hang on. The next 1 minute for $100 is motivation. With motivation, you can hang for another 1 minute. $500 for 30 seconds is the greed. You can become greedy and add another 30 seconds. But when you have to survive, your life is at stake, you can hang on. For you think that you don't have endurance, you don't have motivation, but for survival, you can hang there for another 5 minutes. So this book is very good. And there are 25 questions in the beginning that they expect when you become independent and free of those erroneous zones, you should be able to answer those 25 questions with a no. No. And I tell you, you read those questions and you realize, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I was depending so much on these unnecessary things. There's one more book that I have bought 5 times. Every time people take it, borrow it from me, they don't return it, and the bad thing is they don't even read it. But now this book is available online, and I have downloaded it and I am reading it second time. Although it is basically about psychology, but it's not meant for psychologists. It is meant for people like you and me. The name of the book is I Am Okay, You Are Okay. Very good book. And if you want to know about my Urdu liking books, I like poetry, I like Urdu literature. I have read a lot of books, and I have some favorite poet. I, from time to time, also write some poetry. So people who will contact me when they will hear the things of their own choice, they will have to bear my poetry also.
Okay, any movie?
Movies, my best movies are Shawshank Redemption. Shawshank Redemption. Then is the Patriot. And then there is one movie which is very odd. The Mother and Child. There are stories of 4 different people, and you don't find a joint. But at the end, you realize how these things are joined. These are 3-4 movies that I really like.
Abrar Sahab, another I must say revolution comes in before we conclude the program. Just last 2 minutes, and you're going to sing us a song. I don't know how, but somebody tells me that you're a good singer. Even if it is in Urdu, it will go fine. People are watching you, and I'm saying goodbye and Allah Hafiz from my side. You continue with the song, and you say goodbye to your viewers at the end of the song. Bye bye, and take care. Take very good care of yourself for our sake. Best of luck, and Allah Hafiz. And over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. رات کلی ایک خواب میں آئی اور گلے کا ہار ہوئی. رات کلی ایک خواب میں آئی اور گلے کا ہار ہوئی. صبح کو جب ہم نیند سے جاگے آنکھ تمہیں سے چار ہوئی. رات کلی ایک خواب میں آئی اور گلے کا ہار ہوئی. چاہے کہو اسے میری محبت چاہے ہنسی میں اڑا دو. یہ کیا ہوا مجھ کو خبر نہیں ہو سکے تم ہی بتا دو. چاہے کہو اسے میری محبت چاہے ہنسی میں اڑا دو. یہ کیا ہوا مجھ کو خبر نہیں ہو سکے تم ہی بتا دو. تم نے قدم تو رکھا زمین پر سینے میں کیوں جھنکار ہوئی. رات کلی ایک خواب میں آئی اور گلے کا ہار ہوئی. Second part is specially dedicated to my wife. یوں تو حسینوں کے محجبینوں کے ہوتے ہیں روز نظارے پر انہیں دیکھ کے دیکھا ہے جب تمہیں تم لگے اور بھی پیارے. یوں تو حسینوں کے محجبینوں کے ہوتے ہیں روز نظارے پر انہیں دیکھ کے دیکھا ہے جب تمہیں تم لگے اور بھی پیارے. باہوں میں لے لوں ایسی تمنا ایک نہیں کئی بار ہوئی. رات کلی ایک خواب میں آئی اور گلے کا ہار ہوئی. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abrar Saab. Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
time, and Allah Hafiz. Take care.
Allah Hafiz.
Assalamu alaikum.